Today we're talking about 10 accessories that you can get that'll make record collecting a whole lot easier. Hey friends, welcome back. So the very first thing that you should pick up is a record cleaning brush and cleaning solution. Before you play records on your turntable, it's very important that you make sure that they're clean. If you play a record that has a lot of dust and dirt on it, then that's going to damage your stylus, and you definitely don't want that. So I have this dishwasher brush from RCA and this professional cleaning fluid from Laser Media. Originally, I had the RCA solution to go with the brush, but since that was a really small bottle, it quickly ran out and I had to pick up this larger one from Amazon. And so far it's been working out pretty well. So overall, just make sure that you clean your records before you play them and you're going to be a lot better off. Now, after you've cleaned them, you're also going to need a way to protect them. So that's why the next thing you should pick up are some Mobile Fidelity Sound Lab master sleeves. These things are awesome, and they are hands down the best way to protect your vinyl from scratches. I use these on pretty much every record I own, and they're a big upgrade from those standard paper sleeves that usually come with modern records. Now, the main reason I don't care for the paper sleeves is because they're more likely to scratch the record whenever you go to take them out of the sleeve or put them back inside the sleeve. So if you get these, then that won't be a problem. Now, the next accessory that's also very helpful is an anti-static brush. If you live in a very cold or dry environment, then static buildup can be a real problem. But if you pick up one of these, then it should cut down on that static. So to use it, all you have to do is start spinning the platter, and then before you drop the needle, just gently move this brush over the surface of the vinyl. And that should remove some of the clicks and pops due to static. Now, an added benefit of this brush is that it also removes any small pieces of dust and dirt that might have settled on top of the vinyl. So that's pretty cool. So overall, if you keep this near your turntable and you just get in the habit of using it right before you drop the needle, then your records will be cleaner and the sound will be better. Now, moving on to the next item, we have a flat brush. Now, what is this used for? Well, if you just came back from crate digging at a garage sale or a flea market, or going through the bargain bin at your local record shop, then odds are the records you picked up could be really dusty and dirty. So this thing removes all those larger pieces of dust and dirt. And then after you're done with the flat brush, then you can use the other record cleaning brush and solution, or even a record cleaning machine if you happen to have one of those. So overall, if you come across a lot of used records, then this flat brush is definitely something you should have in your kit. Now, moving on to the next one, we've got a 45 RPM adapter. So as its name implies, this little piece of plastic basically just goes over the spindle of your turntable, and then you place your 7-inch 45 singles right on top of that. So it's a pretty simple adapter if you want to play 45s, and a lot of turntables now even have one included inside the box. So that's pretty cool. So overall, if you're thinking about collecting 45s in the future, then you should definitely pick up some kind of 45 adapter. Now, moving to the next item, we've got the Enzo Zero Dust Stylus Cleaner. Basically, this thing is really important to the lifespan of your record needle. Just like it's important to keep your records clean, it's equally important to keep your stylus clean. And fortunately, the Enzo makes it very easy to do that. So basically, all you gotta do is remove the cover, lower the stylus on top, and then lift it up again. That's it. It's really simple, and all of that dust and dirt and grime that was collected on the needle will stick to the Enzo, leaving the needle itself very clean. So it's kind of like a little sponge that absorbs dust, and it works very well. So overall, just keep it near your turntable, use it often, and your stylus is going to last much longer. Now, another thing you're going to want to pick up is a digital gram scale, and this is useful for checking your turntable's tracking force. What's tracking force? Well, basically, it's the amount of weight your needle is pressing into the record grooves. If it's too light, then the needle could hop out of the groove and skate across your record, which would be bad. And if it's too heavy, the needle could carve up the grooves and damage the musical information, which would also be bad. So So this thing allows you to easily see what your tracking force is down to the 10th of a gram. So to use it, all you gotta do is place it on the platter, turn it on, then lower your needle right on top. And it'll tell you exactly how much weight is pressing down in grams. So if you go online, you can check the recommended tracking force for your particular cartridge and then just adjust the counterweight at the back of the tone arm until the number on the scale matches that exact number. So overall, this thing is perfect whenever you really want to make sure that your tracking force is spot on. Now the next item we've got is a simple bubble level. Why is this important? Well, when you're setting up your turntable for the very first time, one of the most important things you should keep in mind is to make sure that the turntable is perfectly level. If it's not, then that could cause the tone arm to skate all over the place, and you really don't want that. So basically with a bubble level, you can make sure that your turntable is indeed level and you won't have that problem. So to use it, all you have to do is place it on the plinth of your turntable and then make sure that the bubble is in the center. If it's not in the center, then you can adjust one of the legs of the turntable until it is in the center. Now, you could also get one of these fancier bubble levels that go directly over the spindle of your turntable, and that'll work fine too. So overall, having any sort of bubble level is going to help you when you're setting up your turntable. Now the next thing we've got is a record clamp, and what this does is it basically flattens out a warped record. So if you have a record in your collection that's pretty warped, and every time you try to play it, the record needle is just bobbing up and down like it's skating on a wave, and maybe it's making a scratching noise, then you definitely need to flatten the record. And one of the easiest ways to do that without damaging it is to use a record clamp. So all you have to do is put the record on the platter, put the clamp on top of the spindle, and then just tighten it down. And that basically hugs the record to the platter, flattens the warp, and makes it much easier to play. So overall, having a record clamp is very helpful. And finally, the last accessory of all is the record butler. Now what this thing does is that it allows you to take your records out of the sleeve without getting your fingerprints on the vinyl. How cool is that, right? So I had never heard of these things until I got one at the P.O. box, and after using it just a few times, I'm like, this is pretty cool. So basically you can use this to kind of pinch the record and then take it out of the sleeve. And since it has a soft felt material on the inside, it's not going to damage the playing surface of the vinyl. So overall, if you're really careful and you hold your records by the edges and the label, then you don't really need a record butler, but if you do want to pick one up, then you're really going to fall in love with it. Alright, so those are the 10 accessories that I think will make your record collecting journey a whole lot easier. Now before we go, today's song of the day is Wood by Alice in Chains. And if you have a suggestion for a song of the day as well, post in the comments down below and you might see it in a future video. Now, what accessories do you use with your vinyl audio setup? Let me know down in the comments below, and if you love record collecting as much as I do, then feel free to hit that subscribe button and bell notification so you won't miss out on any new videos. And most importantly of all, friends, have a fantastic day, stay safe, and keep spinning that vinyl.